Hey, good morning, everybody. Apologize again for yesterday. Almost everybody is back on today, and I really appreciate you guys coming back on because there's some important stuff I wanted to share with you guys. And even though we sent out the recordings, not everybody listens to them. So I think this will be really a valuable time together. Some people had told me that they thought that some of these online webinar programs were having some bugs or delays or some issues because so many people were using them. I really have no idea what was going on, but technology is the best thing ever except when it doesn't work. But in any case, got a little graphic here that somebody sent me that we actually are going to be adding into our workshop presentation for today. The slide says, "What is your state worth?" And it says, "How to increase the value of your property during a pandemic." And it's got a house that is covered in toilet paper. So I'm not really sure what the toilet paper situation is and why people feel the need to hoard it, but I got another funny meme. I'm not even sure what a meme is, by the way, but I got a meme from one of my kids that said, what do we need to protect ourselves from? And they're like, the coronavirus. And they said, what are the symptoms? And they said, coughing and fever. And then they said, what should we do about it? And they said, buy as much toilet paper as possible. Actually, that's not true. One of the girls in my office sent me that. Those are actually pretty funny. So there's a lot of humor in what's going on out there. But I've been talking to advisors pretty much all day, every day about what they're doing in their practices and what's been working, what hasn't been working. And right now, this is sort of our assessment. In fact, I was talking to Brandon about this just this morning. We believe that everybody is now settled in, nestled in like a tick at their home offices. The first week was total mayhem. And people that were not used to telecommuting didn't know what to do, and they had to set up their offices, and they're massively stressed out because their kids were driving them nuts, and they were trying not to commit manslaughter, murder acts against their family members. And, they're stressed out by all kinds of stuff, and, of course, they're going shopping for their own bread, milk, and toilet paper supplies. But now we're into like a phase where people are they've got a routine. And we've sort of settled into this new normal situation. And we believe that this routine is going to go on for months. So not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, but maybe a couple months. And nobody really knows, but I think people are now looking at, hey, how do I get information? What kind of sources do I have? Who is out there that I've already known about that is giving people advice through this difficult time? And this could be financial advice. It could be advice about taxes, how the tax dates have all changed. It could be advice about all kinds of stuff. So we have created a series of webinars, and this is for us to do that are recorded for you guys to use. So I'm going to give you like 4 different avenues today that you guys can all start to pursue to continue to grow your practice. Now, as most of you guys know, we do webinars all the time. We do go-to-meetings all the time. Our technology platforms have been virtual, for over 10 years now. So we're pretty good at it. We're not great at it, but we're pretty good at it. So it was pretty seamless for us to transition over. We understand not all of you guys are like that, right? But interestingly enough, our industry has seen a massive surge in production. So every IMO wholesaler that I've talked to, every product guy I've talked to has said to me, they have just apps flying in the doors at record pace. And there's 2 reasons for this. The first reason is because rates are going to get lowered, right? And everybody's trying to get their clients in during these during the good rate times under the wire, that kind of deal. But the second reason is I think a lot of people are flushing out their pipelines. So there aren't a ton of people that have 15, 20 workshops scheduled that weren't affected, including our office. So, all of our future workshops that were scheduled, we've now changed them all over to virtual. And we're being proactive about offering additional workshops so that we can reach out to our databases and continue to stay in front of them. So last week, as most of you guys know, we ran our workshop called Stock Market Crashes for Dummies. This week, I'm doing a workshop with Cheryl, our partner in Minnesota, about how to protect, the title is How to Protect Your Estate from COVID-19. So kind of relevant and catchy. Next week, we're going to talk about how the coronavirus is going to impact your Social Security. And then the week after that, we're going to talk about, in fact, I think I might even have it on my phone here. The title of that one is going to be How COVID-19 Has Created a Massive Tax Opportunity That We Haven't Seen in Decades. And that's going to talk about Roth conversions, and it's going to talk about tax harvesting and the different opportunities that are available that we don't see very often that people need to jump on. Now, this information is important, guys, because I can tell you right now, their brokers aren't doing this, right? So when I talk to my clients, and we still have as many client meetings all day, every day as we've had before. Nothing's really changed in terms of volume in our practice. But when I talk to people about, hey, what is your broker? What is your AUM guy? What is your family financial partner doing? Whatever they're dealing with. What have they been doing to talk to you about how to really capitalize on what's going on out there? And very seldom do I hear anybody talk about anything. Oh, I haven't talked to my guy. Oh, we haven't really told me anything, and he told me just to hold on and not do anything. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, an opportunity for us to step in and prove our worth. So this series is designed, and by the way, the one I'm doing next week is with Scott Hill. He's one of our Social Security gurus of the universe. He's probably done more and better Social Security workshops than anybody that I've seen out there. And so he's going to be doing that for us. And then the week after that, I'm going to be doing it with our partner out in Texas, Brandon, who is going to be positioned as the Roth IRA conversion guru. And he runs an incredibly successful practice out in Houston, Texas. If you guys want to do one of these workshops with us, listen to these and say, hey, Jonathan, I want to do one of these with you. Just let me know. We'll put you on here, make you famous, send it out to 100,000 people via email. You guys can use these recordings. But the real idea is that if you have a database, it's super simple, right? If you have a database, you can invite everybody on your database to attend these workshops that we're doing. They don't have to be live when we're doing them, though. So our idea, number one, is for you to use our recorded webinar, right? And then you can choose a date and time that you want to replay that as a live event for your database. And this could be prospects, this could be existing clients, and you're going to intro it. We're going to play the tape like it's a live event, and then you're going to do the Q&A at the end. So you're going to be the host of the event. You're going to be the advisor that has brought this information to your clients, and you'll be the hero for all that kind of stuff. And obviously, they'll be directed to you to get additional information. So we're going to do one every week until this pandemic is over. That's my commitment. All right. So we may end up doing 20 of them. We may end up doing 10 of them. I don't know, but we're going to do one every single week, and we're going to build a library. You guys will all have access to the library. That's going to cost you guys nothing. Okay, so if you need help from our staff, of course, we have Kiana and Gabby, and we've enlisted the help of one of their assistants so that we can accommodate anybody who wants us to help them with this process. If you want us to do it for you, then we'll partner with you. We'll do the joint cases. We have a process and procedure set up for that, but you do not need us for this, guys. We're sending it out to you as a resource. You don't have to pay us anything. You don't have to pay for anything. You can do it. If you want to hire our staff because you don't have enough staff to do it, if you're not comfortable or familiar with how to do it, you can hire us. We'll partner with you. We'll do joint cases. I'll even run the workshops, MC them with you, however you want to do it. That's available. Okay. Now, for the guys who do not have enough clients in their database or do not have access, we have a couple different channels that we're going to be offering. Number one is going to be a very simple email blast that we're purchasing lists for you guys. And we're going to be able to set up webinars for you guys in your locations. So the email blasts are going to be somewhere between $1,200 to $2,000 bucks, and that's less than what a lot of other people have been quoted. And I did a ton of research myself. The email blasts are for people who, let's say you guys did mail drop workshops in the past, and you've got a huge list of emails that you already have in your database. We're going to put those emails that you have, and we're going to combine them with 20 or 30,000 additional emails in your geographic area. All right, and we're going to do some email blasts, and you can run your own workshops using our process. We already have the step-by-step laid out. We've got the software program that you're going to need to buy, which is this GoToWebinar or the Global GoToSeminar workshop stuff. And we'll teach you how to use all this stuff if you've never done it before. If you want us to do it for you and with you, of course, we're happy to do that. It's the same deal, though. It's the joint work. I'll do the presentation, or one of our partners will do the presentation. We'll help you guys with the follow-up in the process, and hopefully, you can do the cases with us, or you can help close some of them on your own, and we can talk about how that program works. So the third, by the way, all that stuff, the upfront cost is the total cost is going to be anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000. The third option, if you guys have a decent marketing budget and you've been doing a lot of money on mail drops in the past, the third option is just to continue doing the mail drops and adding some social media marketing. So the social media marketing by itself, again, somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000 a pop. We have a channel that will guarantee you registrants for your webinar. Right? So those guaranteed registrants for your webinar will be based upon you giving us the criteria, and then you pay the money, and then they guarantee a certain number of people will show up. Same deal. We can give you that process. We can keep our hands out of it. It's just between you and the vendor, and you can follow our step-by-step guideline. If you're great at online presentations and you do a great follow-up, that's fantastic. You don't need us. Same deal, though, if you want to use us, what we recommend is a combination. Again, you got to have some marketing budget. If you're used to spending $4,000 or $5,000 in a mail drop, we would suggest that you do the mail drop, but do about half. So do $1,000 to $2,000 for the mail drop, and another $1,000 to $2,000 for the social media or Facebook ads. Right? So we would expect you guys should be able to get somewhere between 50 to 70,000 registrants for these webinars. And our experience has been we have a much, much higher ratio of people that actually show up to the webinars versus the in-person live workshops. So when you guys are getting 50 to 70 people registered, we're expecting 40 to 60 of those to show up. And then our team has done an amazing job creating this follow-up survey, so that during the webinar we're going to talk to people about who we are, why we're doing the workshop, and then they're going to fill out the survey. And the last webinar that our office did, we got about 80% of people to fill out that survey, and then we followed up with those people to schedule teleconferences, and that's been keeping us really, really busy. So once you pay the money for the email lists or for these people, again, you're going to be building your own database. So unlike the traditional mail drop workshop, however you're doing them, where you have to do new ones, you're going to be building up a database, and sort of throughout the year, we're going to be re-inviting the same people over and over again. And what we found is that by touching them and by re-inviting them and letting them know what they've been missing out on, we're getting a higher percentage of people trickle back into our process that never came to the first or maybe even second webinar. So unlike an in-person workshop, you got to do a brand new mailer every time. You can't get the people to the next workshop without doing a new mailer. We're going to be able to use the existing database, re-drip on them, and invite them to each individual new workshop that we're going to be doing. So you're not going to be having to spend a ton of extra money each time we do this. Once you get sort of a certain amount of critical mass, I firmly believe that you will be able to hold webinars on a regular basis without spending any extra money at all. Right? I mean, if you're dripping on 20,000 people and you're getting 50 to 60 people at a time to show up, you should be able to keep very, very busy. Even if only 20 or 30 people show up at a subsequent webinar, you didn't pay any money for it. Right? It's completely free. You already are shelling out the initial money. All we're doing is adding more content and adding more stuff, and that's all going to come from us. So you don't have to come up with a workshop yourselves. We're videotaping every single one of them. We recommend that you you choose whether you want to play our video as a live event or just use our topic and you do the live event. Either way. So without a ton of money, we believe that most of our advisors are going to be able to not just simply tread water and survive during this time. We believe you guys are going to be able to flourish. We believe that the public is craving knowledge. We believe that people are hungry for resources and for conversations, and we've got this opportunity that probably will go away in just a few months. All right, once people go back to work, this well is going to dry up. So that's why it's so important for us to jump on this right now. I talked to some social media companies that said, oh, yeah, we'll launch a campaign for you. Give us 4 to 6 weeks lead time to develop it. Then we'll send it out and we'll set up a date. I said, what are you talking about? I said, we need to do this today. So we and as many of you guys know, we did just a database invite of clients who've attended our workshops, and we sent out an invite, and within the first 6 minutes, we got 30 people registered. So I know this stuff works. We just have to get in front of the right people. And because they're coming under the nonprofit umbrella, and because I believe that our topics are awesome, I believe our staff does an amazing graphic design job. It's really catchy, right? It's not like, I get webinar invites from flipping, not advisors, but companies all the time. Status update, State of the Union, COVID-19, what you can do today to help your practice, yada, yada. I get 5 to 10 a day, and they're super boring and humdrum. I haven't attended a single one, right? So my goal is to get something to you guys and to your potential prospect list that will catch their eye, right? So we're coming up with these new catchy topics, and I'm totally open, you guys. If you have something that you said, hey, here's something I think we should run a webinar on, I will have a webinar scheduled, written, and delivered within 1 week. And you give us your email list, and we'll invite every single person on your email list. If you want to buy the lists, we'll refer you over to the companies that have all the resources that have all these lists. So I believe we can do it better. I believe we can do it faster, but you can't sit on your hands and not do anything about it right now. So hopefully you guys are all really busy cleaning out your pipelines and getting people in under the wire for the rate changes. But as soon as you have time, you reach out to us and you say, hey, Jonathan, I want your process. I'm going to do it myself. And then we'll send you the process, and then you can go and do it yourself. Or you say, Jonathan, I don't have a lot of money. I got a little bit of money, but I want you to do it for us. We'll get started on the cheapest platform to do it for you guys. Or you say, I got a decent marketing budget. I really want to kill it with this program. I want you to run the webinars for me. I want to do joint work. Then we will engage you guys with the multiple different resources that we have via the email blasts, via social media marketing, via still doing mail drops. In addition, driving traffic to the webinar and building you guys up with a huge database that you will never, ever lose, that you'll be able to go back and mine for the rest of your career, which I think nowadays is one of the most important things that advisors can do. Build up a database of prospects so that no matter what happens, you will have people to go back to that will know who you are, will recognize your name, and will be looking for advice. So that was my 20-minute tirade, and I'm so glad you guys were able to join us today. If you guys didn't see our first webinar, Stock Market Crashes for Dummies, it's on the Advisor platform. Go on the website, log in. You'll be able to see it on there. It's for your benefit. Do not blast that out to people, okay? We have a strict no blast out policy with any of our workshops, right? We do have liabilities. I've got a massive disclosure on here, right? But I don't want anybody saying, oh, well, I sent it to one of my clients, and they sent it to somebody in New Mexico, and I'm not licensed in New Mexico, and they sent it to somebody who said I was giving advice across state lines, whatever. We are only holding live events, and we're only inviting people in the jurisdictions that you guys are licensed. Okay, this is to keep everybody out of trouble and to minimize liability, all right? So if you want to invite 10 people to come and watch your webinar or recording the webinar, just create it as a live event. It takes no effort, costs no money. Okay, but do not blast email out these things to anybody. Otherwise, you do create potential liabilities for everybody involved. All right, so we're really strict on that kind of stuff. I think I have the ability to open up the lines for questions. This is a group effort here, guys. We're doing this in conjunction with our IMO partners. We're doing this in conjunction with all of our best practices office partners. We're doing it in conjunction with all of our different staff that have been contributing to the creative ideas and the process ideas. Again, I think our stuff is great, and I think our stuff is as good as anybody's. And we're doing it all in-house, so we can control all of it, and it's all available for you guys.